Devo spostulite rurana con poresti audita. Caien vide nove, silentigas duonon della mondo. Filino, fratino, i cani ai patrino, i defendente demona in ago indeni frato. I laki alo, che nine nia pova su Luigi. Esta si magita povo kaiji. Sen fina serciado. Fantomo kun vera corpo, movado kun vera celo. Voccio pelata de colero, tiu i vorto estas la frapo, kiu mi rigas vin, tiu mesaggio mi esperas revenigas la equilibron. Centru vin me, filino e fratino e
How about that? Yeah, I really hate OBS. It keeps reassigning the microphone to a default setting, which we don't like. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ramen Wukong, your host for a new episode of Block by Block, a monthly look into the crypto universe as a whole and with mostly focus on altcoins because everybody knows the big shit. That said, I know we had to delay it a little bit today. And it's really going to affect my friends out in Finland, who are honestly typically the people who watch this live anyway. So to all you, I say, Huva huhomenta. I believe that's how we say good morning. It is super early in the fucking morning. I think it's like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning their time. So for those of you out there still watching, thank you. Much love. All right, let's jump into it. We have a couple of updates. Clearly, the site has been updated. You can watch us live right here, and the video archive has been updated. At the end of this year, we will be archiving probably sometime in January. So all of this will go into a button down here for all of 2025, with the exception of these utility videos, but like the block by block and the regular announcements, they're all going to go over there. The Explorer, still going strong. I see we have a few more masternodes added to the network. Good. I love that. PMP mining is still going strong. I think we are finally a quarter of the way through this contest. Just about there. There's going to be 1,000 winners, all getting an additional 5,000 Bitoreum for mining over there. I think you mine, what did we do, the 25th block? Every 25th block mined on their pool, you get 5,000. Right now it's being dominated by this guy, but all you got to do is point your miners over there, and you are good to go. A couple of announcements. S-Mart is coming along very, very slowly, so that is unfortunate. The application for the new promotion is coming along much nicer, although, as you may have guessed, we are definitely slowing down as this year's health insurance season for the Americans is really eating into more of our time, hence the reason for the delay today. It seemed like everybody wanted to make appointments on Sunday, which is unusual for us. So the application for the new promotion, which you can find out, I think we're calling it the Bitoreum Go promotion in the promotions tab. Basically right here, it's a promotion for the launch of the actual S-Mart. Right now, if you click on it, it goes to our eBay store. Okay. We plan to actually host our own cryptocurrency only focused store. So in lieu of that, we'll be giving away Bitoreum ranging anywhere from 1,000 to 1 million Bitoreum per item. It's going to be random. They're going to have NFC tags in them. You scan the NFC tag, it's going to say, cool, you won X amount of Bitoreum, or we're giving you X amount of Bitoreum. You give us a wallet address, it ships it out to you, you're good to go. It's a one-time redemption only. New items will be added monthly. And the prize pool for this is funded entirely by the developers pool, kind of like the Get Down giveaway bonus was. That didn't really see the same kind of turnout that I was really hoping. So this way, you buy stuff, you support our channel without giving us money. You are buying legitimate goods. They will have a tag, this right here. So any tag on our eBay store that will have that will have these items in them. So let's jump into our news for this month. SoFi is relaunching crypto trading following its regulatory green light. They basically took a 2-year hiatus. I know there was a lot of controversy with them in the past, so I'm skeptical, but it's also a little bit promising upon reading this. I mean, right now everything in the crypto space is kind of up in air, so it's nice to see a little bit more utility. I know SoFi wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but I think this is kind of a step in the right direction. Although, yes, it's very much going to be under more KYC, but I think in general, the whole of the market is moving that way. And then following up on that, Revolut gets Cyprus crypto license as it targets more users. This is pretty big because this is an EU thing that will actually impact EU users the most because they are being fully above board in their transparency and compliance with KYC for the EU. And as many of you may know, as many of you out there are in the AU, this is pretty big as there's been more and more cracking down on KYC platforms. Trade Ogre comes to mind. Although, yes, they were in Canada, still the same. You know what? It's after 8 o'clock our time. We're going to crack in Hibiki. You all know I love Hibiki, Japanese whiskey. They don't pay me for it, but I do drink it by name. It's like bourbon and scotch had a baby, but not the peaty scotch. Not my fave. Anyway. Bitcoin's prices dropped below 100,000. Well, not today specifically. This was a couple of days ago. As many of you know, I believe Bitcoin's trading between 80 and 90,000. 95,000. So, you know, we saw some dips down to 93, back up to around 95. Clearly, this is going to change depending on exactly what market. This is just kind of an average that I could pull up for this. Obviously, the end of, or during our last month's broadcast of this, there were a lot of negatives. This is about the most negative thing I have to say, but I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. I think this just goes along with the overall economic uncertainty in general, and I think this will fluctuate and eventually level out. Plus, it should also be of note, this happens a lot this time of year. You know, not just Bitcoin, but the crypto market's price in general. And I think there's a couple reasons why. I think a lot of people will cash out their crypto first before typical stocks and bonds for holiday shopping. And this year, overall, with the tariffs affecting worldwide global markets, I think you're going to see a lot more people dipping into their crypto stash to have a holly jolly Christmas this year. I think that's what's really fueling this one. I mean, it happens every year to some extent, but I think this year, primarily in the Americas and China, you might actually see this a lot, which is going to be interesting for China, as many of you may or may not be aware that crypto is effectively illegal in China. Doesn't stop them from actually utilizing it, which I think is so much for why the KYC is starting to ramp up as more and more countries want to regulate that and crack down on it. To go along with that, Michael Saylor has one word for all of you investors, and it's you better hold your ass or just hodl. Hold on for dear life. And like I said, he goes on to basically kind of summarize my general feelings, only he goes into, or not him, this article goes into a lot more in depth about that. And that, I think overall, that's kind of the sentiment, although some of them are definitely the sky is falling, Chicken Little bullshit that, you know, crypto's coming to an end and the death and blah, blah, blah. No. Every year around this time, people cash out their crypto for all kinds of various reasons. And like I said, I think this year it's going to be a lot more noticeable simply because the overall markets worldwide over and tariffs. They're not just an American thing, although we are the reason for them. My bad, guys. Top 5 altcoins to buy in 2025 amid the crypto market crash. Hey, not everybody has to be a loser. Algorand, Algo. They're always typically somewhere in this mix, and they are, they're up there. Giza, never heard of them. Arb, heard of them, haven't really used them. Wormhole, Psy, those are your top 5. Number 1 does not surprise me. Their name comes up quite a bit in these altcoin markets that fluctuate, go pretty damn high. Once again, not market advice. Do what you will with this information. I think in general, it should probably also be a note that unless you want to make some risky endeavors, hold in general. I mean, if you see a great deal, something like comes crashing down that you think is going to pop back up, by all means buy. But I think overall the sentiment is just hold on for dear life right now. and wait probably till the end of spring. I think you're going to start seeing some market movement in a positive way by then, after the holidays die down and more economic relief comes in. And in that note, I don't want to go over all of these articles, because there's a whole bunch here. I really just want to go into Coinbase debuts a token sales platform. I'm a little skeptical on this, although I've read a couple other articles about this. I think this one just kind of summarized it best. This is designed to help people make purchases without letting the dominators in the space get early access to distributions. It's a leveraging or it's a speculation leveraging platform that allows everyday crypto traders or people that are like, I do it once every year kind of thing, gives them the ability to get in early on some of these coins. I mean, obviously that comes with its own set of risk, but normally I talk a lot of shit about Coinbase. Maybe not so much on this platform, but on other things that I've done. I have my own feelings about Coinbase, but I do believe this overall is probably going to be a good thing. And of course, you can read more about their bullshit. I think this is a lot of sales bullshit, but in general, I think this is going to be a good thing. Although, once again, I do have some hesitancy just because of my overall treatment of Coinbase. So that about wraps it up for this week. I know it's short and sweet, but I definitely want to end it on more of a positive note than last month's really, really downer episode. But it was just because, so much bullshit was going on with the orange idiot and his crotch goblins. So, in general, I'm going to wrap up a Q&A. We're going to have up the dead letters because now I get to talk about, obviously we won't be having a broadcast next week because we have a 5-week schedule. So as you're aware, in a 5-week schedule, first week is the monthly updates, third week is this, block by block, and then the final week is any contest announcement winners, and then the Q&A, aka the dead letters section. You can always get a hold of us by, let me switch back over to the main one real quick. At the bottom of any of our pages on the main site, you have the Join the Community. You can always shoot me questions over on Discord, our YouTube channel, Blue Sky, Twitter. You can. I don't monitor it near as much as I should because that has also become a toxic cesspool that I just... We use it for the project because some people really require it. Honestly, it was a trade ogre thing initially, but we do receive a fair amount of people that are over there. But yeah, I kind of avoid it just because of the amount of just garbage over there, but you can ask questions. Anyway, shoot us any of the questions. I typically do them anonymously unless, you're specifically like, oh, I want this one to be read by me, which, it does happen sometimes. But now that Setven has more or less retired from the community, I don't get those so much anymore. They're mostly anonymous questions about, what's going on with this project, which I do have some updates that I would like to share. Obviously, they're probably going to be more in the first Sunday of December's episode about that, because I want to hammer them out and get them isolated and good to go there. Also, in the description of this video, we have, for the first time, it's not really, it is kind of an affiliate link, help save food waste. So let's see here. If we go here and we go, let's try to do this without popping the sound. That's not what I wanted. That is exactly what I was trying to prevent. So if we go to copy video URL, that's fine. So in the description of this video, there's this link for Good to Go. Good to Go is a interesting company. What they do is if a restaurant has food left over at the end of the day that they didn't sell throughout the course of the day, but they don't just want to throw it away, at least in the United States, giving it to the homeless is pretty much illegal. So what a lot of people have done is started to sell food, but at a massive, massive discount. You can read more about it here. If you use our invite link in the description of this video, I think we get $2, something like that. If you do sign up and you use it, don't even sign up for our benefit. Sign up to save food. I am huge as a former chef about against food waste, and I think this would have been amazing had this been a thing earlier on in my career. You can read about what their general mission is, how they go about it, and how they work with restaurants. Not just restaurants. I think grocery stores like Whole Foods, IKEA is on there. Some local grocery stores to me are on there. Co-ops are on there. Big chains, small chains, all kinds of stuff. I regularly buy from a company on here that does sushi local to me, and it's amazing. Something that would cost like $30, it's like $8 at the end of the day. And I buy coffee from here all the time for like $4 a pound or just under a pound. Anyway, they're not a sponsor, but I really, really like this. And a lot of people have been asking me, lately about how to save money. That's a real good way to do it. Because, like I said, they have grocery stores. You don't get to necessarily pick what you have, but saving food and getting it at a discount, I say that's a win-win to me. All right, folks, I will see you again in 2 weeks' time for the Dead Letter section. Go ahead and ask your questions. Get at me on Discord, Blue Sky, Twitter Begrudgingly, YouTube, GitHub, and Medium. Our article has been pushed back to December, so we are kind of going to be combining November's episode into the beginning of December. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Much love. Goodbye.